Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan, and welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here to my channel, I'm a plant-based RN and I follow the Starch Solution. So on my channel you will find whole food plant-based recipes that are Starch Solution compliant. If you're not familiar with the Starch Solution, it is a program that was developed by Dr. John McDougall, and it is a starch-centered diet. I use the 50-50 plate method, which he recommends, which is half my plate is whole food starches like potatoes and rice, sweet potatoes, and the other side is non-starchy vegetables like carrots and broccoli, green beans, things like that. And you do that at each meal. Also no oil, and I do use a little bit of salt, but that's just my personal preference. But this month I'll be focusing on getting back on track. If you're like me, I did indulge a little bit over the holidays, so it's time to kind of reel it in and get back on track. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, which is every Tuesday and Saturday. Today I'll be doing a what I eat in a day video. I'll be starting with some zucchini pancakes for breakfast. This is a little bit different than my regular zucchini pancakes. This is going to be really low fat, which is perfect for what we're trying to accomplish right now, getting back on track. And for lunch, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna air fry a bunch of veggies, and I'm gonna show you how I season them up and what I dip them in. It's really delicious and it's really easy. And for dinner, I'm gonna keep it simple as well. I'm just gonna do some veggies and some potatoes. I'm gonna put my plant-based cheese sauce on it, and I'm gonna make a nice big salad. So without further ado, let's get cooking. Okay, so we're gonna start with the dry ingredients. I've got some oat flour, which I made myself. I just used regular gluten-free oats, put them in my bullet, and made some oat flour. You can buy oat flour already pre-made. I'm gonna put the exact measurements in the description box, but we're gonna start with the oat flour. Then I have some baking powder, cinnamon, and a pinch of salt. And then give this a quick little stir. Next we're gonna add one zucchini that I grated up, and once I grated it up, I put it in a dish towel to get the moisture out, the excess moisture. So we're just gonna add that and stir that in. Now it's time for the wet ingredients. I have one flax egg, which I've let sit for a few minutes, which is just 1 tablespoon of flaxseed and 3 tablespoons of water. We're gonna do about 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. We're gonna do some vanilla. And then instead of using milk, I usually use soy milk in this recipe, which is really fairly high in fat. It's a great plant-based milk, and it's got a good amount of protein, but it has a lot of fat in it, and we're trying to avoid that right now. So we're just gonna use water, and trust me, it will taste just as yummy with the water. So we're just gonna add enough water to get the consistency that you like. All right, let's head over to the stove and cook these up. Now we'll just let these cook for a couple of minutes. We want to make sure they get a little bubbly, a little dry around the edges. So here is this beautiful stack of pancakes. I put some bananas around the outside. I just steamed up in my microwave some frozen veggies. You don't get much easier than that. And then I'm just gonna drizzle on a little bit of this yummy maple syrup. Look at that. I mean, this is just out of this world. Super easy, super satisfying, low fat. This is a perfect Starch Solution meal. Perfect 50-50 in my opinion. So for lunch, we're gonna be doing air fried veggies, and I'm gonna just show you what I do to cut them up and how I season them. This is a great way to use up produce in your fridge that is about to go bad. I've got these zucchinis here, you know, a little bit of an onion left over. I've got these cremini mushrooms that are, yeah, they're about on their way out. But you put these in the air fryer and they're gonna be fantastic. So just to chop these up, I took the ends off, and then we're just gonna cut them in half and cut them in chunks about this size. I already started, as you can see. And for the potatoes, you know, we're just gonna make these in fry shapes. So just do like little sticks. And then the onion doesn't matter, just cut it up however you'd like. You can cut it in wedges or rings, it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna finish cutting these up, and then I'm gonna show you how I season them up. So I've got them all chopped up. I just did onion like in little wedges, got my potatoes in here. And how I like to season is with some onion powder. Garlic powder. I love this granulated garlic from Costco. And I love smoked paprika, so I put that on everything. But again, you can just season these however you'd like. Whatever seasonings are fun that you like, the flavors that you like. If you want to make it a little spicy, you could put chipotle powder on there, throw in a little cayenne, whatever you'd like to do. And then we're just gonna stir it around, make sure everything gets coated. So everything's all seasoned up. I'm gonna throw them in my basket here. And these are gonna go at 400 for about 15 minutes. I usually check it around 12 and give it a good little shake, see how they're doing. Sometimes things cook faster than others, so just use your judgment on that. So I'll be back. Look at that beautiful steaming plate of veggies. And I like to dip them in either barbecue sauce and or ranch dressing. Absolutely delish. I do like to have a snack in between lunch and dinner, and one of my favorites is apple and peanut butter. This is an Envy apple. This is one of my all-time favorite. It's in my top 4 of favorite apples. And peanut butter is great, but it is very high in fat. And when you're trying to get back on track or lose weight, you want to try to avoid regular peanut butter. And this PB2 powder is great. It's 87% less fat than regular peanut butter, and you still get that peanut buttery taste and feel. And you just add a little bit of water to it, to whatever consistency you would like. I take this to work with me. I just put a little bit of the powder in a little container, and then I just add water at work and bring an apple. So it's a great little snack. And there you go. It's perfect. So tonight, and most nights, dinner is going to be very simple. I just put some spring mix in here with a few tomatoes. I've got my plant-based ranch dressing. And then over here I've got some steamed broccoli and green beans and a Yukon Gold potato. I've got my plant-based cheese sauce that I will just put all over this. And really, this is how I eat on a daily basis. It's very simple. It's not super exciting, but it's very delicious. It's very satisfying. It's very filling. So I will eat all this food for dinner, and that's quite a lot of food, and I will be full. And that's the point. If you're full, you're gonna stay on track. You're gonna be consistent. And this is very nutrient-dense food, so you're going to feel satisfied, and your body's gonna be getting all the nutrients it needs. So super important. And this ranch dressing I'm obsessed with. I did not come up with it. This is Plentiful Kiki's recipe, and I've tried to come up with ranch dressings, and you know what? Sometimes you just don't need to reinvent the wheel. So I will leave a link to her YouTube channel and you can get that recipe for yourself. It's very easy, very delicious, and that is it for dinner. So that's it, guys. That's what I ate today. 3 meals and a snack. And as you can see, everything was super simple, which is how we need to be eating. No need to make it complicated. You make it complicated, you get frustrated, you don't want to do it. I just try to keep things simple, and I kind of have a rotation of food, and I just go through the rotation. And sometimes if I want to get crazy, I'll do something complicated, but I would say 95% of the time this is the way I eat in my daily life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, you got something out of it, you found it helpful, and if you did, please leave me a comment below. I love to hear your comments, I love to engage with you, it's great. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I did start a Facebook group, which I will leave a link down below. It's basically called Chew on Vegan, the Starch Solution 2021. I think the link's been giving some people some trouble, but you can just search it that way. And it's just kind of a support group where we can get together and be with like-minded people and just get ideas and tips and stay on track and get 2021 off to a great start. And remember, what you put on your plate determines your fate. And I will see you next time right here in my kitchen. So between lunch and dinner, I usually want to have a little snack, and one of my favorites is eating an apple, and this is an envy apple, one of my all-time favorite apples. It's in my top 4 of favorite apples. And then I use, yeah, that's always great. 'Cause you're on the